Yeah, I love the landscape that you guys have going on there. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, Alberta is great for that.
I want to visit so badly. Have you ever been to Calgary? Like,
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I did a road trip across Canada a
uh,
while back, so went from all the way from our little island all the way over to Ontario.
okay, so the first question is how and when, under what circumstances did you like stumble upon the show?
I actually stumbled across it on Tumblr. I was looking around on Tumblr, and there was some photos of the ship from Legends of Tomorrow Avalanche. And so I was looking on there, and then there was a suggestion of something, I saw a gift set of Way Hot, and I was like, what is Way Hot, right? Like, what is this show, Wynonna Earp? So I clicked on it, and I started, like, looking through things, and I was like, oh, this show sounds kind of interesting. So I looked it up, and I was like, okay, like, this kind of seems like my style of, show, and it's Canadian, so that's always a bonus. I always like watching Canadian shows and supporting Canadian shows, and
When?
yeah, and I watched the first episode, and I think I binged all 3 seasons in 5 days. Just once I started watching it, I was hooked. So I've only been an Earper for about a year and a half now. That's when I discovered the show.
Cool, cool. So, do you like remember a fragment of a show that you saw it and you like, that's it, that's my thing. I got to watch it.
I mean, there's not particularly any scene. It was just like from the time that it came on, the time that it ended, for the first episode, I was hooked. Like, I gotta know more. I gotta, who is Wynonna, and what's her connection with, like, the story behind her and Waverly, and
Yeah.
their animosity, and why is Wynonna doesn't want to come home, like, and and who's this character, and it's like they draw you in each, when Doc was introduced. Well, I got to know more about Doc's, history, because I already knew a little bit about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, and the Western side of it, right? But it was more like the lore of Wynonna Earp, and the what of Purgatory that kind of drew you into, like, oh, I got to watch the next episode, because I got to know who this character is and their background and what's going on and that kind of stuff, right? And it's just it took off from there. Each scene got better, and each time a new character was introduced, it was like, oh, okay, well, this is starting to get interesting. And then, plot twist happens, and you're like, oh, okay, well, now I can't stop watching. During quarantine, I did like 6 rewatches, because it's just, once you do one
That's what we
rewatch,
do.
that's what we do. We just keep rewatching.
Would you say the show has affected you, your way of thinking, your life, maybe like mental health aspect?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, watching Way Hot and seeing that positive, representation on screen, when there's not many shows that's had it, and if they have, it's just been briefly, and it's not been explored as a real relationship, right? And to see that kind of develop, like, you know seeing Waverly develop these feelings for Nicole when she didn't really know that she had feelings towards a woman, right? And that kind of helped me, because last month in June, or I guess a couple months ago now, I came out as bi. And seeing Waverly's journey on Wynonna Earp kind of also helped me come to terms with my authentic self. And I mean, it helps too, having people like Kat and Dom portray these women, and themselves, feeling the same way, that, it doesn't matter who you love. Love is love. If you love a man, you love a man. If you love a woman, you love a woman. It's about who you are as your authentic self, and who loves you for who you are, and supports each other. And that's what you see in Way Hot. So, and it's also helped me. Um, I have found a family within the Earpers. It's for the first time I felt comfortable being my true self, no matter what. There's no judgment. There's always support. I've never felt more supported in my life. especially, just recently I lost my grandmother, and the Earper support on Twitter has been amazing. People checking in, making sure I'm okay, and the show's done that too, It's given people an escape, even just for a few moments. You're not thinking about your life or your problems or what's happening. You're with Wyona and the gang and you're kicking demon butt, right? Like you're not thinking about the real world. You can escape. And when a TV show does that, they're doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're watching it and you're like already out of this world and you're already in your own universe,
Yeah,
it's something
you're
else.
you're in purgatory, helping the
Yeah.
gang and fight residents. You're not thinking about your outside problems or your mental health or whatever. And I mean, I know for a lot of people, myself included, the Jolene episode hit home really well, and just Waverly saying, "I'm here and
I'm
I
here and I
stay."
stay.
Yeah. Um, I was in a pretty dark place a few years ago, and I almost ended my life. Thankfully, at the time, I had a guardian angel who, helped me, and I didn't. But just hearing that reaffirms that, I'm valid, I'm worthy, I'm here to stay because there's people that need me to be here. And that's the same way as Waverly felt. She knew that everyone loved her and she needed to stay and she needed to protect them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Towards a little bit of the funner aspect of the show and of the interview itself, who do you associate yourself mostly with? Which of the characters?
Um, I'm a little bit of three. So I'm a little bit of Winona. I'm
Uh huh.
stubborn. I'm a fighter. I don't give up. Family means everything to me. Um, my little grandma that passed away, she was a strong, stubborn Italian woman, and I see Winona as that, headstrong, it's her way or the highway kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a little bit of Nicole. The loyal aspect, putting others before herself, being caring and nurturing, and just wanting to protect the people that she's found as her family. And I'm a little bit of both of Waverly and Jeremy. Like I'm a huge nerd, so and like his research Waverly and history Waverly like hit home for me because I'm a
Yeah,
huge
it's the
history buff.
cutest thing ever. How did you feel when they finally introduced our newborn son Robin to the show?
It was a good fit. Yeah, like I said, each character gets introduced, and it's either you love them or you hate them, or it's a little bit of both, right? Like sometimes you love the villains, but you also hate them at the same time, and sometimes you like the people. And I mean, there's no one on the show that the character wise that doesn't bring an aspect to the
Mm-hmm.
to the show as a whole, right?
What I believe female same-sex couples are more represented right now than male same-sex couples to me. So me personally, I was very excited when they actually brought a boyfriend for Jeremy, and we know like right
Mm,
now he's just like the boyfriend of the character.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna develop him as they develop Nicole.
Oh yeah, and it's nice to see another, you know, relationship being represented, for the LGBTQ community, right? Like, and it's just like Jeremy's got his own background and backstory, and Robin does as well, right? So it's just not like, oh, Robin's Jeremy's love interest. Well,
Yes,
no,
yeah,
he has relationships with the other characters as well, and yeah, I'm interested to see how it develops this season, especially since we don't know where he is and what's going on. And I know the actor's busy filming another TV show, so who knows if he's gonna only show up for a few scenes or if he's gonna show up till the next season, right?
yeah. What's up with that? I think it was episode 3, right? For season episode 3, when Waverly's asking Nicole, she's like, "Can Jeremy and Robin?" She's like, "Well, Jeremy's fine. We haven't talked." And then Robin, and she stops. Like, what? What happened to Robin?
Yeah.
Robin, what?
Robin, what? We want to know. Like I said, I'm over the moon that I found this show and I found a community with the Earpers, and it's just it's crazy,
My
you know,
dogs.
how oh yeah, mine's in the back. I mean, you know, I wasn't here for the fight for season 4, but I'm sure as hell gonna fight for season 5 now that I'm
Yeah.
in. Yeah, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, you as well.